Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back on my series on stories from the Puranas. And today we'll be talking about a story from the Puranas, directly from the Puranas, about a pilgrimage, a tirtha as it's called in Sanskrit. And the tirtha is called Nandikeshwara. Nandi is, as we know, the divine bull of Lord Shiva. And since this story is coming directly from the Puranas, I will request you to have firm faith and belief in it. So this story is about a Brahmin who used to live in a city called Karnaki. So one day he decided to visit the city of Varanasi for a pilgrimage. So he left his two sons behind with his wife and proceeded to the city of Varanasi. But many days and weeks passed and he never returned back. So the Brahmin's wife tried to find out about his whereabouts and eventually learned that the Brahmin, her husband, had actually died in Varanasi, and she became a widow. So of course she had no other recourse, so she brought up her two sons, and eventually married them off. And by that time she had become old and it was time for her to die, but death was not coming to her. So both the sons thought that probably there is some unfulfilled desire or wish with their mother, that she's not passing over to the next world. So they went up to the mother and said, "Mother, what is it that you want?" And the mother said that, "I've always wanted to visit the pilgrimage or make a pilgrimage to Varanasi. And I'm going to die now, and I'm probably never going to visit the place. So please promise me that when I'm dead, you will submerge my ashes in the river Ganga there in Varanasi." So as per the Hindu rites, the ashes are supposed to be submerged in river Ganga. But she specifically instructed them, or took a promise from them rather, that they have to go to Varanasi and submerge her ashes on the banks there in the river Ganga in Varanasi itself. So they said okay, they agreed. They said, "Will they promise?" They said, "Yes, we'll submerge the ashes in river Ganga in Varanasi itself. You can die in peace." So the mother died, and the sons performed her cremation and the funeral ceremony, and the eldest son, who was called Suvadi, he set out for Varanasi with his mother's ashes. And this was a very far away distance, and so he decided to spend the night in a Brahmana's house. And in the Brahmana's house there was a cow which was tied in front of the Brahmana's house, and it was time for milking. So Sivati saw that when the Brahmana tried to milk the cow, the calf would not permit him to milk the cow and kicked the Brahmana, and the Brahmana was very angry, and he hit the calf with a stick. And then the Brahmana left after the milking. But Suvadi was still there, and he heard the cow tell her calf that, "I'm not happy by the way the Brahmana struck you. So tomorrow I'm going to kill the Brahmana's son to death. I will kill the Brahmana's son." So next day, when the Brahmana's son came to do the milking, the cow hit the Brahmana's son with her horn so hard that he died instantly. But then this was a very, very big sin, and especially killing a Brahmin. So because of the sin, the white cow turned completely black. So well, in today's day and age, you're going to ask, well, how can this happen? But yes, there are different ages which we all know about. The Krita Yuga was the first, or the Sat Yuga as some people call it. Then it was the Treta Yuga. Then it was the Dwapara Yuga, and today we are living in a Yuga, or the age of Kali Yuga. So in different ages, the norms are different, nature behaves differently, and probably in that age, that day and age, any sin would be punished instantly. So that may be the reason why the cow who had committed such a big sin of killing a Brahmin instantly turned from white to completely black. So once the cow turned completely black, she left the house, and Suvadi was watching all this, and he followed the cow. While the cow left the house, Suvadi followed the cow, and the cow went to the banks of river Narmada, to a place called Nandikeshwara. So that's the story all about. This story is about that place called Nandikeshwara. So the cow went to the banks on the river Narmada to the place called Nandikeshwara. She took a bath in the river and became white again. And she knew that, and that's why she went there to that place called Nandikeshwara and took a bath or dipped in the river Narmada, which was flowing through this place called Nandikeshwara. And Suvadi was watching this, and he was very surprised. How come a black cow, after dipping into the water in Nandikeshwara, the waters of Narmada in Nandikeshwara turned from black to white? Very shocked and very surprised. So he understood immediately, since he was a Brahmana himself, that means the sin of killing a Brahmana has been completely washed away. And then he realized what a powerful tirtha or a pilgrimage place Nandikeshwara itself was. So when Suvadi learned this, he said, okay, well, I still have to go to Varanasi to submerge the ashes of my dead mother, as I had promised her in Varanasi, in river Ganga. So he decided to leave. And then all of a sudden, a beautiful woman appeared in front of him. And the woman asked Suvadi, "Where are you going, Suvadi?" And he said, "I'm going to Varanasi." To which the beautiful lady said, "Submerge your mother's ashes in the river here, in the river Narmada here, in Nandikeshwara itself. This is a far greater pilgrimage place, or a tirtha, as compared to Varanasi." So Suvadi asked that beautiful lady, "Who are you?" And the lady said, "I am river Ganga." And as soon as she said that, she disappeared completely. She vanished. And Suvadi did exactly what he had been told by river Ganga, who had appeared in front of him in the form of a beautiful woman. And as soon as he submerged the ashes in river Narmada, in that place called Nandikeshwara, his dead mother appeared in the sky and told him that she was very gratified, she was very happy, and she would now go straight to heaven. So since then, it is believed that Nandikeshwara is a beautiful or a wonderful tirtha, because even a sin of killing a Brahmin can be washed away there. And also there's another story associated with this pilgrimage called Nandikeshwara, that a Brahmana woman who was named Rishika had earlier performed very difficult austerities and penances, or tapasya as it's called in Sanskrit, to please Lord Shiva. So that's how that place became very pious, very holy, and a great pilgrimage. Now Nandikeshwara is on the banks of the river Narmada, as we all know that, based on this story which is coming directly from the Puranas, but there are different views of people about where exactly it's located, because the river Narmada flows a long distance. However, a general consensus is that it is somewhere in the state of Gujarat in India, on the banks of river Narmada. So hopefully I I hope that you enjoyed this story from the Puranas. Again, it's coming directly from the Puranas, so I will request you to have firm faith and belief in it. And in the meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below. And I will see you with an interesting continuation to stories from the Puranas very soon. Goodbye.